The Unitrans Iconic Climb is revered in Sani to Sea folklore. Conquering this mighty climb is no easy feat. It takes good line choice, incredible torque, favorable gearing, a decent sized breakfast, a lot of grit, and months of training to conquer it without any fear. Or simply pop your e-bike into full power mode, keep the cadence up, and let the motor do your work. It's a breeze. Thank you for watching this video on how to conquer the Unitrans Iconic Climb. It's all in the power of doing. Alright, e-bike jokes aside, there are a few helpful tips and strategies that you're going to find useful when you come to the base of this mighty climb out of the Umkomaas Valley on stage 2 of the Cap Sani to Sea, no matter what bike you're on. And my first word of wisdom in that line is to save your legs. Yes, I said save, not shave. Not necessary to be shaving the legs, but do so if you please. Leaving the 38-kilometer mark on stage 2, that's your first water point, you're going to begin a slow and steady ascent up and out of the Umkomaas Valley with a few little kickers on your way to the Unitrans Iconic Climb proper, that is up an old Jeep track. The climb itself is 2.8 kilometers long and ascends 300 meters up that Jeep track. Now you want to be taking it easy on your lead up into the climb. It can be easy to get carried away and over pedal a bit on the build up to the climb, but you want to hit that Unitrans Iconic kicker with as much freshness in your legs as possible. Also, keep in mind, once you've gone through that water point, just keep on eating and drinking regularly, because you probably would not have done so on your way down the Umkomaas Valley descent earlier in that morning, and you want to make sure you got as much fuel and hydration in your body as you're going to need for the climb itself and also the rest of the stage. Next up in our skills and strategies is the topic of line choice. Now, going up the Unitrans Iconic Climb, you're going to be on a fairly wide Jeep track that typically has 2 main lines for you to climb up. The key here is to keep your eyes and your head up, scanning ahead for good line options, but also to be aware of riders that might have stalled ahead of you and caused a bit of a traffic jam. Looking up ahead gives you time to be proactive and change your lane, whether it's to avoid a slightly rockier section or to get out of the way of riders that might be stalled on the climb. Generally, you're going to find that the outside of the corners are also a bit less steep than the inside, and that the technical sections on the climb are going to be a little bit worse on one side than the other. So keep your eyes up 10 to 15 meters ahead of you, scanning up the Jeep track to see where the ideal line is, and keep on rolling. Start easy at the bottom and you'll be able to finish strong up at the top. Your weight distribution on the bike can also be super helpful on the steeper pitches of the Unitrans Iconic Climb when it comes to balance and also power delivery. So when you're hitting those steep pitches, you want to slide your weight slightly forward onto the nose of the saddle and then bring your chest down towards the handlebars. This is going to stop your front wheel from wandering so much, keeping it nice and planted, but also puts you in a really solid position over the pedals to generate good power. Well, there really isn't much more to say than that, other than good luck and have fun. The USN fueling stations at the bottom and the top of the climb are going to be there for your fueling, hydration and energizing, so definitely make use of those. And save a bit of gas in the tank as well for the rest of the stage, because the climbing certainly is not over. Some would argue that the Unitrans Iconic Climb has a little bit more bark than bite. You can be the judge of that once you have winched your way up out of it. I'll definitely say it's going to be a lot more fun for those riding the trail events on their e-bikes, but certainly very rewarding to get up under your own power, especially without putting a foot down. Give it horns out there.